What's going on, everyone? Welcome into Overtime with RDL. I am sports editor Matt Bellinson, and joining me today is Ruston High junior safety Jayden Anding. Jayden is coming off a pretty outstanding sophomore season for the Bearcats: 39 tackles, 5 interceptions, 6 pass breakups. He was also the Division One non-select state championship game most valuable player for the Bearcats. He helped the Bearcats obviously go to the Dome last year, finish an 11-3 season, and enters his junior season as one of their better defenders and players overall. So, Jayden, appreciate you hopping on with me this afternoon.
Yes, sir.
I guess let's just dive in. I mean, obviously, like I mentioned, most people that have followed Ruston over the past couple of seasons know what you can do on the field, but maybe for those that just don't know how you got started, I guess like how did you kind of start like in your football journey? How did you kind of start like kind of falling in love with the game and just kind of, I guess, just growing as a player? You feel like?
Like really growing up as a kid, I was always around my pops and like my older brothers, and we always like go outside, play football, like friends and stuff like that. And really, I didn't like sports. Then I got into sports and I started playing like football, basketball, and things of that nature. And I just fell in love with it. Been playing it since then. Then everybody say I'm an athlete. I got potential, talent. So yeah. Yeah, just playing it a lot. I just like really just thinking like this is it. Like this is something I like to do. I'm gonna continue to do it. Maybe I get to go to the next level in sports and stuff like that.
Obviously, like I mentioned, you're coming off a pretty great season for the Bearcats. I know, obviously, your older brother Aiden. For those that have followed Lincoln Parish athletics, and obviously what he did at Ruston the past couple of years speaks for itself. Like, how much did he kind of help you on your athletic journey and just kind of get you involved with football growing up and just kind of following in his footsteps, I guess.
He helped me actually he helped me a lot. Like I really look up to him as an older brother, like as a role model. Like playing on the field with him together is like an amazing thing. Just being around him, like me and him, we always been together. We did everything together and stuff like that. So we always played together. We was outside together. Everywhere we went together. And yeah,
I think a lot of people talk about, whether it's college or pro or high school, like there's everyone's always playing for someone. Like that's kind of like their why. I'm curious, like what would be like your why? Like who do you play for? What do you play for as a player?
I play for me, myself, my mother, my family. Say that, and just because I love the game of football.
What about specifically about your family do you play for them?
Because like growing up, I really never really had anything. So like my mom always said, like free tuition is the mission. You know what I'm saying? Just like going to college without having to pay for anything. So it's just the goal.
Maybe outside of your family, who are some mentors or maybe coaches or just people along the way that have kind of helped you along your journey that maybe people just either don't know about or maybe just kind of is underappreciated in your journey?
I'd say my position coach at Ruston High, Coach Ken, some other coaches, a lot of coaches at Ruston High. They help me out. If I need anything, I can call them. Coach Ball, Coach Kyle, and yeah.
Obviously for maybe those that haven't followed your recruitment journey too closely, I think you're about 10 offers deep now, going into your junior season and, a couple ACC schools, some SEC school interest. I guess like as you're going through this process, like maybe for those that like aren't familiar with the recruiting journey, like what's that process like? Like what are you kind of looking for? Like what's that like just kind of dynamic wise as a high school kid kind of getting these offers?
What I'm looking for is like a comfortable place, where I can be myself around like good coaches, great education, good staff. They don't treat you no type of way. I mean, they coach you, but they don't treat you like you just anybody. Something like that. They love you, and and recruiting is really it's a process. So really just take your time and choose wisely.
What's the coolest part of maybe an official visit or something that you've done so far? Like just kind of like something you've seen on campus or like something the coaches have shown you like when you've gone on campus.
I'd say a lot of the training rooms, like the fields, the facilities, they nice and eating. a little to eat.
What do you typically get on these visits to eat?
For breakfast, I get like probably some biscuits and gravy, some eggs, bacon, fruit, and some orange juice. Dinner, whatever they got. I ain't really no picky eater.
You know, when it comes to obviously this year's Ruston football season, we're recording this just a little bit before the regular season opener, but obviously you guys are coming off three straight trips to the Dome. Like, obviously the program's expectations are always really high. Like, what would you tell fans this year, I guess, that are, interested about what this season's going to, hold for you guys, and kind of like why should they come out and watch you guys play?
They should definitely come out and watch us play because I mean, even though we lost a lot of our seniors that played and started, we still like building up to that point to, make Ruston be a better team again. And a lot of people doubt us. They think we not gonna go back to the state championship. I think we might have a chance actually, and we just got to get better and just prove them wrong.
I mean, obviously, you're returning in that safety position. I know, obviously, Trindon and Miles are kind of some returning starters as well, in that back end. I guess, like, how big is it just kind of having other guys that played a lot last year to kind of, help with that comfortability, I guess, in the early part of the season?
That's really big. I like that because they've been there since they played varsity. They freshman year also like me. I was on varsity my freshman year, so they got a lot of experience on how it feels to lose, and they got experience to feel how I win. So them coming back, they play a big part in our defense, and they leaders. So people look up to them and they listen to them and they learn from them.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick ad break here, and then we're going to come back to this interview.
All right.
I want to obviously thank this portion of Overtime with RDL is sponsored by Ruston Glass. Ruston Glass is a three-time Best of Lincoln Parish award winner, committed to providing highest quality of repair, replacement, and installation services. Give them a call or visit them at 512 East Georgia Avenue. From repairing cracked glass to installing commercial storefront, Ruston Glass is prepared to assist you with any needs in the glass industry. Back with Jayden here. Obviously, like I mentioned, your football journey kind of speaks for itself. But I'm kind of curious, maybe people that don't know just kind of what you like to do on a day-to-day basis. I kind of want to throw some just like generic like icebreaker questions at you, have some fun with it. Obviously, growing up in Ruston, you've lived around this community a long time. Like, what are kind of some of your local go-to spots for a good meal? What's kind of your go-to spots? Maybe after a game or maybe just a fun night with friends.
My go-to, well, everybody's go-to spot in Ruston would probably be Cane's or Chick-fil-A because it's really kind of all we got. I wish we had like some more restaurants so we could just go chill and eat and have fun there. But we usually go to Cane's and Chick-fil-A. A lot of people go to Eskimos, Chili's. And we just got Texas Roadhouse, so a lot of people go there too.
What would you want to add to Ruston if you could that you feel like is maybe missing?
I would say Chipotle, um, Freddy's, and that's it.
Okay, yeah, man. Chipotle, honestly, even though because we got like 25 like L jars here, but like
Yeah,
I'm not trying to
yeah,
pay like $25 for a bowl like every single time I go in there. So like that would be nice for sure.
yeah.
When you think about obviously again kind of going around in this community, like what are maybe some like underrated spots to just like hang out on a weekend or just kind of like do something fun with friends that maybe like either families or just kind of like other high school kids or maybe college kids like in this area maybe like don't know about that you've kind of you hit up before.
Mm, I'm not really sure. I don't really like go out and like party and stuff like that. I like to kind of stay at home. I mean, I'll go out to my friends, like go to their house. We go to each other's house and chill. But usually I just stay at home and I don't really go out to no places like that.
So you're kind of like a homebody, like video gamer, like TV watcher, that type of stuff.
Yeah, something like that. I'd say that. Yeah.
What do you typically do like on a night in, like at your place?
Probably just watch YouTube or play the game for a little bit, then get off and just get on my phone for a little bit. But some most likely during the day, I like to go outside and like work on stuff. I like to build things and like I go fishing whenever I have time and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy. I was talking to Cedric Woods. He's a Louisiana Tech cornerback, and he said that he also likes fishing with his dad a lot. So there's a lot of spots I think around here with all the lakes and ponds and things like that. That's pretty cool. What's the biggest fish you ever caught?
5 pounder actually.
Okay, where was that at?
Squire.
Okay, was that this summer or is that a couple years ago or?
That was last summer.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, you play safety for the Bearcats, and I'm sure you obviously pay attention to college and NFL game. Like, who do you feel like is the goat at the safety position if you had to pick one player?
You'd probably be surprised. I don't really watch like sports.
Okay,
Well, I really don't watch the NFL. I watch college, but that's about it. But if I had to choose, I'd probably say like Lathan Ransom or like Caleb Downs.
okay. What about their games? Do you feel like you kind of like just like watching or like to model after?
They just like aggressive players. They make plays and they look good while playing, and that's kind of a big thing. I'm on like I want to look good at least, you know, while making plays and stuff.
Obviously the goal for you is to obviously go on and play college, and then obviously eventually make it to the pros. Like, if you woke up tomorrow and like got a $10 million contract, like what's the first thing that you're gonna go buy or just go spend on? Like, what's kind of your big purchase?
My first thing probably be to buy my mama a house. You know, my mom and my granny. I bought them a house, and I probably buy me a car or a truck. You know, I give my siblings some money. My dad, my uncles, people that done been there with me. You know, throughout my whole life and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love that, man. What type of vehicle are you thinking? You just like anything specific or just kind of doesn't really matter?
I want a Ford Raptor R.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
And just for any reason or just like you have it like friends that have had that or like what's kind of the reason for that?
it's just a nice truck. I always wanted a Ford, and
Okay,
then I was like looking at Ford trucks, and I seen a Raptor. I was like, that's a nice truck. So I was like thinking about getting it. So
it's pretty
yeah,
sick. Are you a pregame music type of guy? I know some guys like to just kind of get in the zone by themselves, or like you kind of like have your headphones in. Like, how do you kind of do like pregame music stuff?
so like sometimes I have to watch TikTok because if I like lock in like too much, I'll get to thinking about the game and stuff like that. Then I'll go out and I don't really have a good game. But I do listen to music. I listen to Adele. I listen to a lot of country music. I don't really listen to like rap or anything like that. But I listen to Adele before the game. Someone like you.
Okay, just to like kind of calm yourself, like not get too hype.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe outside of football, like if you're either out with friends or just like chilling in your room, like what kind of artist do you listen to? Maybe then.
I say Lil Baby, Hudson Westbrook, and Adele.
Okay, big
Yeah.
Adele guy. I like that. What's there? You got a favorite song from her?
Someone like you.
That's good. If you've probably heard of like pet peeves and like things that like kind of get under your nerves. Like, is there anything in particular that like, either like people do or just kind of like something like you kind of noticed in like social life or just like hanging out with people that you're just like, man, like that's just something that gets under my skin or like I don't really know why people do this. Like, you got anything like that?
Well, yeah, I say that a lot because of like I'm around a lot of kids like at school. They just like do stuff that they really shouldn't do. But I wouldn't really say I got like a big pet peeve that I can like think of right off the top of my head. But I also don't like people asking me the same question like over and over after I just answered it. But yeah,
Okay, yeah, I'd probably say for mine, like, I mean, I definitely can't stand when people don't use their turn signal, like when they're driving. Like, I just don't get it. Like, that's just something that really gets me
yeah,
going. So, like, that's just like one thing that I honestly need to really get better at. But like, I mean, that's good if you don't have one. I mean, honestly, you're probably in a better spot than me. So that's a good thing for sure.
yeah.
When you think about obviously again, the goal is to obviously continue playing football for a long time. Like, have you thought about it all? Like, maybe past like your playing career. Like, is there anything like do you want to get into coaching, like kind of career wise? Like, what do you kind of see for yourself? Maybe like after whenever your playing career is done, like years from now.
I'd probably say I don't think I would want to do coaching. I mean, I would, but just not really something I would be looking into. I'd probably want to like start my own business, like maybe like some construction or something like that, like engineering, something like that. So I like to work with things and stuff like that, make things, build things, you know.
I was gonna say, yeah, you were saying earlier you're kind of like a more like outdoors or like kind of project type of guy. Like, is there anything
Yeah.
in particular that you've either like made in the past or like would like to make, like just kind of project wise that you're kind of like thinking about?
Um, I don't know. I just build anything I can of like mom got like a toolbox the other day. And he just called me up there. Was like, I need you to build it, and I was like, all right. So I put it together, and it's working now. So
Individually, I know, you know, obviously team wise, you guys obviously, like you said, want to get back to the dome and continue that success. But individually, do you have any goals for yourself or any kind of like milestones you feel like you wanna reach this season?
I say get more tackles, more interceptions. You know, I want to be like more attention to details, just like learning, being able to like realize what's going on in the game and stuff like that, and just become a better player overall.
What's it been like just kind of learning from Coach Yanez and just kind of learning, you know, obviously it's a pretty similar defense, but obviously, you know, kind of a new defensive coordinator and just learning under him. Like, what's that kind of process been like since he got here, you know, around March?
It's good. I mean, he's new, so he learning too. Like he learning all the players, like what we can do, like what plays he can call and all that. So it's been good, and he counts on like the older guys to like step up and be leaders and stuff like that. So
Who would you say is the funniest guy on the team?
um, I'd probably say either Brandon Mills or Jeremiah Freeman.
Okay, what about that makes them funny guys?
They just like the things they do say like it's just like funny. Like they clowns. So yeah.
I like that. Would you consider yourself more of a vocal leader or someone that leads by example? I know there's, you know, everyone talks about leadership. Like, how would you kind of describe like your leadership style?
I would say both, but I'm more on the side of like leading by example. But sometimes I do talk unless like I'm like mad. But most of the time I lead by example.
As you obviously enter in like again to your junior season, like what's kind of the biggest thing that you're trying to tell maybe some of like the new guys that are stepping into this defense for the first time, like because obviously again you've seen the Friday night action, like you know what the standard of this program is, like what are maybe some specific things that you're like trying to tell them as far as like, hey, here's what we do at Ruston.
I really tell them like just to play football because they're young. I was like that. I tell them every time like coming up my sophomore year, first part of the year, I was struggling. I was making mistakes, but towards the end, I was doing better and I got the outstanding player of the game in the championship game. So I be telling them like just play football. Like you gonna make mistakes and things of that nature and stuff like that. So just get back up and keep going.
Who do you again, like you mentioned, there's a lot of new faces on this team. Who do you feel like is maybe an underrated player going into this season that you feel like by season's end people are gonna know their name and just kind of see them as one of the stars on this team?
I'd probably say Trendon Moore. I say that they don't really look at Trendon like that, but after the game, after the scrimmage on yesterday, I've seen Trendon like he was playing really good, and also King Potts. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like those are two positions where, like, again, obviously defensive line, like they've graduated a lot of guys, so it's kind of like, obviously Rakeem's been in the system a while, but again, when you got Ahmad Bro, Jordan Guidry, and Peyton Bell, like,
Yeah.
a lot of guys kind of getting the spotlight, so to speak. Like, it's kind of hard to sometimes cut through. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing how he does this year for sure. Um, Last one, man, before I get you out of here, if you had to say maybe one thing by the time your time here at Ruston is over, and again, I know it's kind of hard to say because you're entering your junior season, but a lot of people talk about like legacy and kind of like what they want people to remember them for. Like, if you had to pick maybe one thing or just kind of one example of like what you want people to remember Jayden Anding for at Ruston High, like what would you want them to say about you?
Man, that's a hard question. Um, I'd probably, I'd say just being like a good person, you know. Just like if anybody need anything, like they can ask me, they can call me, they need anything, I give it to them. They need money, I give it to them. Not really that big of stingy person. I share and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like that, man, for sure. Well, awesome, Jayden. I appreciate you coming on, and definitely looking forward to this season. And like you mentioned earlier, definitely think fans need to come out and watch you guys play this year. You guys have put on a show the last couple seasons, and I would expect nothing less this fall. So definitely looking forward to it, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes,
Bye
sir.
bye.